you been wondering how to use media to boost your business? On this episode of the PA System, I'm talking with Jenny Jones about how to do that, as well as how you can then also build a nest egg for retirement with it. So with that, I want to welcome you to the show. Thanks so much for being here, Jenny.
Hey, thank you, Pam, for inviting me. Thank you.
Such a pleasure to have you. So this is a topic that I'm really excited to discuss with you, because I know there's a lot of families out there that have tried to transition to starting their own business, doing something new this year. Maybe they've lost a job, that sort of thing. And so a lot of people are kind of wondering, how do I get myself out there? How do I really get myself seen and heard and all of that good stuff? So tell us a little bit about you and what brought you to doing the work that you're doing right now.
Well, thank you again, Pam, for inviting me on the show. I mean, I know you are so busy. You have an opportunity to invite a lot of people. So when I got the call from you, I was super excited. But let me go ahead and kind of share with you, just take about a minute or so just to kind of tell you who I am. I am Jenny Jones. That is who I am. That's a whole nother podcast, right? Just to explain that. But no, so I have a background in, I have 4 degrees. I have 2 undergrads, one in digital media and marketing, business marketing, and then one is in financial management and accounting. And I also have a degree in IT. So I have this left brain, right brain thing going on. So I'm always challenged to create on one side and can crunch the numbers on the other side. And so what that allowed me to do was be able to help more people in some of the things that I do. And I tried to figure out who I wanted to be at first. I just want to be a guy who helps people kind of get their businesses going, and, and kind of mixed it in and kind of duct taped it in with retirement. I was already doing retirement practice for 20 plus years. And then I just kind of duct taped all the rest of the technical stuff in, the marketing and all that together. So kind of a little unique in that fashion, but that's who I am. That's what I do.
I was going to say, and I love that you've taken all these bits and pieces from your experience and really put them together in sort of this unique way. And so you address a lot of different things that people are coming up against right now in the midst of trying to, of course, consider, okay, we've got retirement, at some point down the road. So with that, I think one of the important things for us to kind of talk about is how media is playing a role. And specifically to that, I know that you've created an app, and it goes out, it essentially sends content out to Roku and some other platforms. So if you could talk a little bit about, how that works, and then how people can find out more, go on, actually access the information that you have put out.
Yeah, I mean, well, that idea came about is, I have, I run 2 different podcasts myself, but I wanted to, for my clients, and even for my clients and some of my customers and the people that are involved with my brand, I wanted to have an extension of that. So I went and looked and sought out a platform that would allow me to extend my brand across several platforms at the same time, via Roku box, via Fire TV, via iTunes, and Google. And so normally, just like if you put a podcast out, you can actually have it distributed to multi-channels at one time. There's a couple of platforms out there that's allowing people to do that, because, people say content is king, but actually good content is queen, right? And people say, well, where does that come from? A queen is the most powerful piece on the board, and having good content is very powerful for your brand. Your content needs to show up everywhere. So when people do a Google search in it, they cannot help but to find you in many different mediums where you're at. And so I had an opportunity to put together a program that would extend my brand. I think Vimeo has a good program now that allows you the opportunity to kind of extend your brand across different platforms.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Love that. And then you also have a platform that helps people to grow their podcasts by finding podcast guests, correct?
Yeah. So again, I'm this person that loves to create, but any creating that I'm doing, I'm always trying to create these win-wins for everyone. This is, what can I create to help other people? Because I would struggle to find guests. And this is, where can I find a guest at? I says, how about using my IT hat, right? Yes. How about I create a platform that would allow people to find podcast guests, right? You go on there, you says, hey, I'm looking for, this is my channel, this is what I like to talk about. And then you go on there, create a profile. And I think right now it's currently free in our beta period. It's the podcast guest list. That the podcastguestlist.com is where you can come and do that. And I may have a little something special for your guests of the PA system. I may put in a little something extra for them. And so what I'll do is I'll throw in something they'll be able to, once we start rolling out of the beta period, I'll be able to give them a nice little discount on utilizing the service. And that's where they'll always be able to find guests and things of that nature. I am going to be extending that. And I have a big surprise that I'll probably put your guests in that as well. But it's going to be something, it's game changing. No one's ever seen it. I don't want to talk about it yet. I don't want anybody to steal the idea.
Right, sure, yeah.
But that's one of the things that I can do as well.
If they are interested, if they want to learn a little bit more about that, then where do they go to, or how do they go about doing that? Where do they go to find you, or how do they contact you?
Well, so I'll give them a code if they email me at info at marketing systems 2M. That's the number 2. So info at marketing systems 2M.com. If you email me there and say, hey, I heard you on, the PA, sister, if they email me there and say, hey, Pam's my girl, she told me to contact you. What I'll do is I will give them the code, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a little something in there extra special for them.
Love that.
So we'll do that. I'll do that for your listeners. So tune in. You never know. You never know when you might miss something.
I know that's a big challenge for a lot of people. I mean, even for myself, when I first started my show, it was kind of like, where do I even start to find people, right? And so this is an easy way. Now, I mean, fortunately, we have more resources than we did once upon a time, right? So we do have some contacts on Facebook, and we probably scroll through our people and find somebody that we would want to interview. But this is another way that we can reach out to people that maybe we haven't met yet, that we haven't been in contact yet, and get to know them and find out, is this person a good fit for my podcast? And so it just opens up another door.
Yeah, well, when you come there, the person actually, you put on, let's say you as a host, you say, hey, here's an advertisement. I'm looking for someone that can talk about X or Y. I'm looking for somebody that can talk about dating, right? And then someone applies to your show and it says, hey, I'm a dating expert, or hey, I have another show that talks about dating. Maybe we can collaborate or something like that. Again, if I'm not putting win-wins together for people that I come in contact with, then I'm not doing my job, because that's what I love doing, putting those together.
And you also have another platform.
Whoa, wait a minute. That's a lot.
I know. So we're going on 3, but this is what I want people to understand. I mean, I don't think that people really grasp that there's all these options. There's all these opportunities and possibilities. And so these are things to start considering, because we're moving into this era where people are going to own more and more of their media. True?
Yeah, no, that's where we're moving, because I think even right now with what Spotify is moving into a beta test program to where they're going to start trying to return some marketing dollars back. This industry is growing by leaps and bounds. Content is king. I keep telling people that, but good content is queen. The pandemic showed us that, because there was no movies. People weren't going to the movies, anything like that. So any type of content you're putting out, whether it be a blog, whether it be, any type of video, or whether it be any type of, and then I think TikTok is showing us that too. Right. So got to get your content out there. It's got to be good content though, people, not just any old kind of content.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think those days of like putting fluff out there have kind of sailed. It's like people really want to watch something quality at this stage of the game. And so I think that's what's kind of important about your other platform, which is Product Pitch TV, correct?
Yeah. So Product Pitch TV is, it will be launching officially in the next 45 days or so, but that's going to be big. I don't want to talk too much about it, but what the platform is, it's designed to find undiscovered products and services. There's a lot of noise out here in social media, right? There's a lot of people doing a lot of things. Yes. But what we're going to do is we're going to comb the internet. We're going to comb the social medias and find people with these unique, special. We're going to find them. They're going to have special products and services, and we're going to feature them on Product Pitch TV. We feature them on our podcast first, and then they go to TV, and then on the podcast we push it out. We have the capability of pushing it out to probably close to 1 million viewers at one time, just from the podcast. And then so the podcast will draw people to the actual TV, and people hopefully they're always going to get a special by just being on the podcast and be a part of that whole platform. They're always going to get something special for my guests. So look for that to come, the Product Pitch TV. Yes.
Well, and when I first talked to you and you kind of told me about some of these platforms, I was thinking, oh my gosh, this guy has put a lot of thought, time, and effort into not only mapping this out, but then planning it and taking the action it took to actually make it all come to fruition. But the reason that you were doing that is because you had this long-term perspective, right? You were like, I'm going to retire at some point, and when I do, this is what I want it to look like. And so that's kind of the other piece that I wanted to talk about here is, when we're doing these things, when we're thinking about how we're building our business, we need to be thinking of it in those terms, correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I've been a retirement planner for 22 years. And I always, when I'm sitting down to do a plan, I always begin with the end in mind, right? And so when you're putting any type of platform you're putting together, any type of project you're putting together, you always begin with the end in mind. You wanted to know what it's going to look like. I have the unique innate ability of having a master's degree in financial management. And, I already know that if you create content, you can create passive income stream or what we call evergreen revenue. That's why you sleep, Yes. I'll be sleeping next to my wife and I'll go like this. She said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Oh, I just felt something go into the bank account." Right. That's a joke I tell about evergreen, because that's the type of content that you need to build. But not only that, the evergreen content that you build, you have to annuitize your business, meaning that I don't want to be a one-trick pony today. I don't want to come out with a course today, and I don't want to try to overcharge people for $5,000 and $6,000 and $10,000 for a course. I can eat today, but can I eat tomorrow? Can I eat next year? In any business that I put together, even when I'm working with my clients and when I'm consulting with them, I always tell them, now let's figure out how to annuitize this. Now let's figure out, do you want to have a board meeting in Hawaii with your wife or your family who's on your board? Do you want to travel to Hawaii, have a board meeting, right? Then discuss what's going on. But while you're having a board meeting, you're still making money here in the United States. Yes. Not only that, and it's still evergreen. It's still happening. So that's annuitizing your business, where you never, ever really retire, but you just kind of do what you love, right? And you make it extend out a long time. And one of the things I'll share, I know I'm getting a little long-winded here, but one of the things that I want to share is trying to make all of your businesses connect some way, some fashion. Now, I have a business here that I discuss here, but that business connects with this business. Right. And then that business connects with this business. And then what you're doing is, the term in the financial realm is called annuitize. Annuitize, the root word of annuity comes from. Annuity is you get paid as long as you walk this earth, right? That's what an annuity is. And that's why it's called annuitizing your business. You want to position yourself and have your business be able to pay you for the rest of your life. So anyway.
Well, and I think that's a really great point, because, I mean, even though, you may be in the business of, selling socks, you could still have a podcast. You could still have, or you could do, regular videos, you can still use media. I mean, it's just a fantastic tool, regardless of what it is that you're selling or your service that you're offering people. And so I love that you've kind of created this system, really, for how people can look at that and the big picture of not just right now, like you said, having income to pay your bills in the moment, but also what that will look like 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the road.
Yeah, I mean, and when I'm sitting down with clients or when I'm talking with people or I'm on a host, or I always share with people, hey, listen, if you're not evolving, if you're not creating on a daily, weekly basis, you're going to become extinct, right?
Mm.
And this is a very busy, the internet is busy. Everybody's on the internet. You got
Yes,
kids
right.
on the internet. The kids are on
Exactly.
tablets, right? When
Yep.
I was small, my mom would give me a puzzle or something to walk on. Now they just give you an iPad or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Etch a Sketch, right? Or the little things that you
Light
push the
bright.
water. Yeah, you push the water and the little fish go in the little water. You keep
Right.
those are the toys that we used to have. Now you
Exactly.
just get an iPad, right? And then they just go on YouTube, right?
Crazy. It's
And
crazy.
so everybody's on there, everybody's consuming, and
Yes.
they're looking for more and more. That's why I keep telling people that's why TikTok is the fastest way to kind of grow your content. Unfortunately, I'm not on it. I haven't found a way to kind of get into it.
Sure.
But from what I've heard, TikTok is a fast way because the
Yeah.
algorithm in TikTok, it's always feeding stuff that you like already. So if anybody's ever come across your channel, they're going to feed it to anybody else that may like your channel. And to me, TikTok was a game changer because unlike YouTube, which is tied into Google and keywords, TikTok is how do you feel about something? Oh, I like that video. Oh, let me send you another one that kind of gives you the same flavor, right?
Right.
And so TikTok is it evens the playing field. That's why so many people like it, and it's growing by leaps and bounds. And so, but you got to have fresh content.
Yes.
You got to have fresh content. So whatever your niche is, you got to put it out there and
make it fun, make it creative, have a good time with it and just see where it goes. This has been so valuable. I mean, I know that we've covered a lot of territory in sort of a short amount of time, but I really wanted to just have you come on and talk about some of this so that people start to get an idea of how some of these things work and how they play into their business, but also how this helps them in the long run. So if they are to go to the podcast guest list, they can figure out how to find podcast guests, and they can also just find you on Facebook or LinkedIn because you still do financial consulting as well, correct?
Yes, I do. Again, I'm into multiple streams, right?
Yes.
But I stay in my lane. I stay in my discipline, right? You're not going to find videos on me teaching someone how to bowl, even though I used to be a pretty good bowler back in the day, right? But I'm going to stay in my lane. Things that I know, things that I have academia in, things that I can speak intelligently about, things that I can help people with. So whether that be media, whether it be marketing, whether it be finance, whether it be IT and how to set up a landing page and how to set up the 6 different types of funnels and the 6 degrees of entries. Where can someone enter? Do you want them coming through the front door? Do you want them coming through the back door? Those are that's the science behind marketing. So those are the things, have academia in that. So I just created courses around all the things that I do. And then I just try to make them connect. And one thing I want to leave with your visitors and your guests with is try not. This is the one thing that try not to be a one-trick pony, meaning that this is all that I do. And this is, you could specialize in something, but I may specialize in this, but I may put out some material or a free giveaway in this, and I may give it away because once I give you a giveaway and once you into my ecosystem, then depends on how you came in, I could take you on a journey wherever I want you to go within my ecosystem. And so that's but don't be, whatever your discipline is, stay in it, but then branch out and have different things within that, right? Don't just be, this is all I do. All I do is webinars. No, you can do webinars here, and you can do that. Create a workbook on how to do webinars, right? Don't ever stop thinking, never stop creating, right? And that's kind of where we're at right now.
Such great advice. Love that. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here and sharing out so much wonderful information with the audience. And I look forward to having you back on again in the future.
No problem, Pam. I really enjoyed it. And thank you so much because I know you're busy. And for you to select me, I'm honored. So thank you so much.
The pleasure is totally mine. So thank you again. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.